You know, one of the big reasons why he responded the way that he did is because when he felt the pain, you know, we're talking about the tenderness of God, the tender heart of God. Jesus is the tender heart of God. The pain Jesus felt on the cross is the pain all of humanity was in.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
That's the pain we were all in.
Right.
That's the pain that those people that were nailing him to the tree were in. And so as he was tasting that pain, he was tasting their pain. He wasn't just feeling, I'm in pain. He was feeling the deepest, darkest fears, insecurities, shames, hurts in all of those people is what he was feeling in that moment. It says he tasted our weakness. He didn't just come and have his own pain.
Right.
He came and tasted the pain we were all in. And it grieved him what he felt to know that this is what humans were feeling.
No.
That what was come, because what was come upon Jesus at the cross? Sin and death. What was come upon the whole world before Jesus came? Sin and death.
Right.
And so he was hurt on the inside for them. Because he knew that this is what's going on in them. This is what's happening to them. This is the pain they feel. And that's why he could bless them when they cursed him. This is why he could pray for them. Because he didn't just say, "This, look at the pain I'm feeling." He knew that this is the pain they're feeling. He connected that. He saw them as suffering. He saw them in anguish. He saw them not comforted. He saw them without a father in their lives, without knowing Father. He saw them without the comforter. He saw them destitute of everything that was good. He saw their souls distorted, rent. He saw them in bondage to fear. He saw them in bondage to laboring and toiling for life. And he knew he was experiencing their pain. So he wasn't just thinking about his pain. He was thinking about, my goodness, the pain our people are in. And that's how God would have thought of it. My goodness, look at the pain our people are in. Let us set them free. Let us redeem them from death. Right? And that's what God would have thought of. And you see a picture of that in the scriptures in Noah. It says it grieved God's heart at the suffering of mankind. He looked down and saw that mankind's imagination was filled with only laboring and toiling for life. And it says it grieved his heart. He cried. How do we know? Because Jesus came and he's God, and Jesus revealed the picture of God. The God we read about in the Old Testament that we saw like a Picasso painting,
Right.
because that's how we saw the God in the Old Testament. It looked like a Picasso painting. We didn't exactly see it clearly. But then Jesus comes as the image of the painting. And here's Jesus. And he's showing us what God feels. And he's showing us what it looks like. And he cried when he found Lazarus dead. And that's the tenderness of God. He tastes and experiences and feels the deepest hurt of every human. Now imagine walking the earth and being able to experience the deepest hurt and pain of everybody you come in contact with. And to know it. And to feel it. I mean, feel it. I mean, I was just talking with her about the dealing with painful experiences and painful things. And asked her, how does she deal with that? You know, it's a big thing for pastors. Because, listen, people that are going well, they don't really want to talk to you. They're happy, right?
Yeah.
But when things aren't going well or people feel pressed in, they need a friend. And so it's very difficult as a pastor when you're talking to people not to walk away just overcome by grief.
Yeah.
Because you're not just talking to one person. You're talking to people all over the world that are grieving. And you start feeling their grief with them.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, listen, I got to go get with God all the time. And be reminded that he's God and not me.
Yeah.
And that I'm not there to be their God. And they're not coming to me to be their God. I'm just there to help them see God. Oh, okay. It's okay. And it lifts up. So imagine God coming and being able to feel, even just in this room. Think about all the painful things all of us have gone through. Now imagine God being in here, being able to feel and experience the deepest part of all of it. What it was like. That's Jesus, right? And so, Jesus says, I only do what I see the Father doing.
Right.
And so Jesus knew something about the Father that no one else knew, that most of the church still doesn't know. And we're 2,000 years removed. You go to most churches, you ain't even going to hear about the Father. And I don't mean you hear somebody say God is Father. I mean, there's a difference between knowing Father and just saying God is Father.
Yeah.
Right? One suggests an intimacy and what doesn't. But you see, the way that Jesus knew Abba, the Abba of Jesus, was so beautiful that it animated him with a life that overcame everything in the world. What he knew about Abba, the Abba of Jesus, was so beautiful it animated him with a life that was just a sweet, sweet life. It gave him a joy above all his fellows. It allowed him to not keep a record of the wrongs committed against him. Right. It caused him to bless those that cursed him. It caused him to see beauty in everybody around him. It guarded his heart from ever being offended. See, Jesus had a revelation of this. And that's what we were trying to talk about. That's what we're after. We want to know God the way Jesus knew God. That's really all we need. Jesus wasn't out performing some spiritual calisthenics. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. He didn't have the 10 steps to be able to love people, or the 10 steps to have joy, or the 10 steps to have peace. Everything that flowed out of Jesus' life just came from a revelation of knowing God. And how do you know someone? You can't know someone unless you can see into their heart. That's the only way you can know someone. You can know that they're there, and you can know of them, but unless you can see into the deepest part of their hearts, to know the things they feel, to know the thoughts they have, and the things that they think, unless you can see into that place, you're not really knowing them. You're just knowing that there is a them. You're just knowing that there is such a thing. Right? Israel, they knew there was a God, but they didn't know God at all. Right. Because when God came, they nailed him to a tree. Right. Now they're busy reading the Bible every day. They're busy claiming God every day. They were actually saying, we're the people of God. But they didn't know God. And so knowing someone speaks of an intimacy. That's what it means to know someone. It speaks of an intimacy. Now you can't have intimacy with somebody unless you can see into the deepest parts of their heart and know how they feel. Know why they feel what they feel. Know what it is that they feel. Know what it is that they think. Why it is that they think those things. And as you can begin to look into the secrets in a person's heart, you can begin to know them or have intimacy with them. Right? Because you can experience their feelings with them. You can experience their thoughts with them because you know where they're coming from. You can have joy with them. You can have grief with them. You can have elation with them. You can have camaraderie with them. It's an intimacy, right? But if you can't see into the heart, listen, man, you're not having intimacy with them, right? And so what's happened is we're not really busy with the heart of God in much of the church. We describe all these things theologically: atonement, reconciliation, redemption.
That's right.
You know,
yes, right.
Sin nature. You know, we got all our theological terms wrapped up all nice, and we think that's knowing God. But if the heart of God that's connected to those things becomes maligned, we're not really being intimate with God. Right. We're being intimate with something else. And then something else is being born in us. You see, the thing that Jesus saw about God, the thing that Jesus knew about the heart of God that caused him to call God Abba, that was born inside of him. And he felt what Father felt. And he thought like Father thought because he could see into his heart. Right? Yeah. And so that's the foundation from where I come and preach about the mercy of God. Because it's a powerful, powerful thing in all of our lives. And it confounds the carnal mind, because the carnal mind wants to know, how can it work something to get something?
Yes.
Right? That's what the carnal mind wants to know. But it's a powerful, powerful thing to just hear, I mean really hear, about the heart of Abba. Yeah. And to just be able to get a glimpse into what he feels, what he thinks, when he felt it, why he felt it, why he thought it, what did he think about it. It's a beautiful thing, because then you begin to know him, because you're knowing his heart. Now you're experiencing intimacy with him. You're experiencing union with him. You're thinking with him. You're feeling with him, right? And then that becomes born in you, and it begins to animate your life, right? And that's what we need. And that's why we preach the message about mercy. That's what we're after. We need to know the heart of God. Yeah. And that's why we've gone back and preached all the things that we have. Because listen, in the day we misunderstand the heart of God. In the day we misunderstand what a person thinks about things or what they feel about things. We don't know them.
Yeah.
Right? And so
Right.
we've misunderstood the heart of God on a number of fronts,
I don't even know it.
particularly concerning what he's done and why he's done it.
Yeah.
And so, listen, how can we be intimate with someone if we can't feel what they feel?
You know,
Tell me.